Hello there, and welcome back to our tandem bicycle tour across Georgia. So far, Aishola and I had made it roughly to the centre of the country, with our sights set on continuing north towards the regions of Imereti and Ratcha. But for now, you join us battling our way through a downpour just outside of Borjomi.
During the USSR, the Borjomi was like resort town where all the elite of USSR countries were coming here to enjoy some mineral water bath and drink some Borjomi water.
Famous for its beautiful location and naturally occurring carbonated spring water, this town is a popular holiday destination. But I suspect, unlike us, most people come here during the warmer weather of summer. It had been a pretty tiring last few days on the bike, so we decided to stop here for the day, and after checking into a guest house, we headed back out into the rain in search of food.
That one.
Ooh, watch out for that puddle. Yeah? It's as good as any, isn't it? I'm sure. Okay, it's very well getting off the road, I think. Goodness.
This is lobio. It's a boiled bean stew. Do you call it stew?
You can call it a stew, yeah.
Oh, this is so delicious. It's just wow.
As well as the lobio, we felt it was only right to order the famous sparkling Borjomi water, which we were told is Georgia's largest export.
Oh wow, this one is like really carbonated and nice.
Sweeter, isn't it? It's still salty though. Natural mineral water. But this was just the bottled stuff that you can find anywhere in the country, and indeed much of the world. Nah, what we were excited to try was Borjomi water directly from its source.
What's that? No, I didn't stop one. Oh my, it's warm. Wow, look at that.
But this wasn't the first time we'd drank naturally carbonated water on this trip. If you remember, we'd already tried some from Mamuka's secret source up in the mountains. So we were interested to see how the famous Borjomi stacked up.
It's warm.
Yeah, it feels like tepid tap water. Stop, pause the video for a second, and just check out that unruly face fluff. Now, as you can probably tell, personal grooming wasn't really a priority of mine during this trip. But it may have been, if back then I'd been aware of the tools from the sponsor of this video. Manscaped is the premium brand for men's grooming and hygiene products for above and below the waist. They recently sent over their perfect package, which comes with their Lawnmower 4.0 body trimmer, ball deodorant, ball toner, a pair of anti-chafing boxers, accessories for the trimmer, and a wash bag to house everything in. The cordless trimmer is extremely well thought out, with skin-safe replaceable ceramic blades, and even a front LED light to help you trim with confidence. And as it's waterproof, giving your body a quick once-over in the shower becomes a no-brainer. And when you're done trimming, it fits snugly back in its little charging unit, ready for up to another 90 minutes of wireless use. One feature I thought was particularly handy was its travel lock, which, just by quickly pressing the on button 3 times, prevents the unit from turning on accidentally when in transit. They also sent me their ultra smooth package, which includes an exfoliator, shaving gel, 3-bladed razor, and a handful of replacement blades. Testing it out, I was particularly impressed by the transparent shaving gel, which made it very simple to see where I'd already shaved and which areas still needed attention. Now, because I'd rather this video didn't get demonetized, I'm only demonstrating the razor on my face, but I think you can imagine the clean shave you could achieve anywhere you choose to use it on your body. So if you'd like to join the 6 million plus men who already trust these products, please consider Manscaped, and by using my code Pratt20, you'll receive 20% off your order, plus free international shipping. My link is in the description below. Your balls will thank you. Back to the video. Yeah, it feels like tepid tap water.
It's definitely.
Oh.
You don't like it?
I don't like the warmth of it, yeah.
Mamuka's water was cold.
It was cooled by the river, I think. You can definitely smell the sulphur as well, can't you?
Sulfur, yeah.
It smells a bit like farts.
How are you supposed to drink that now?
Soon after finishing our whiffy water, we met a local guide who was keen to tell us a little bit more about the town's history.
Поэтому бывшего завода,
А это бывший завод, да? Это бывший завод.
это бывший завод,
Подождите, как вас зовут сперва?
Ростом, по-вашему Рустам.
Ростом.
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 В 90 году династия Романовы начали разливать минеральную воду боржоми. В литровых бутылках темно-зеленого цвета, пробка баобаба, дерево, которое в Африке растет, и вот девушки из специальных аппаратов сделали пробки и сортируют. По этой дороге, которую вы видите сейчас, вот по этой дороге, была проложена железная дорога. Железная дорога, которая вот оттуда сюда привозили бутылки, ящики. Да, дорогая, это разные вещи. И привозили в завод, чтобы здесь они работали. А отсюда увозили, по этому же кукушка, поезд, паровоз, английская фирма Постер, дорогая, отсюда увозили продукцию, которая отправлялась по огромной Российской империи. А во время Советского Союза уже огромной Советской империи и европейских государств.
It was lovely taking the time off in Borjomi, meeting Rostom and learning more about this prominent town. It was definitely the short break that we needed, and the next morning we woke up to stunningly clear weather, rested and motivated to take on the roads ahead. Over the next couple of days, we just pedalled, managing to swap the hectic traffic for some beautifully quiet back roads.
Taste the pigs!
This, in my mind, is the most enjoyable type of riding there is. And it's always this wiggly, rougher stuff that makes you feel like you're out on a proper adventure.
Oh, a train! I'm catching a train too! Look at this! Yahoo! Wow, that's a fancy train.
Having said that, after hours of lumpy tracks, it can be refreshing to reconnect with smooth surfaces again.
Ed, what is ahead?
Asphalt? I think it's asphalt.
This is great, isn't it?
The question is how long this is going to last, right? Definitely feels good on the bum, doesn't it?
Oh, so good.
Woohoo! Good morning, and what a wonderful morning it is. It's properly blue, clear skies. We started making our way north through the country now. We saw some of the south. We're now heading to a place called Katskhi,
Yes.
which has quite an interesting landmark there, but we'll show you that a bit later. For now, we're gonna head down this steep hill. My goodness.
Wow! Oh, my. Oh.
Even after riding the tandem for months, it was still surprising just how quickly it wants to bomb downhill. We hit over 40 miles an hour here, and we weren't even trying.
Wow. That was cool. We didn't expect that.
So I think we will take this one later.
Yes, yeah, you're right. We'll take that road.
But for now, we're doing a bit of a detour to this Katskhi place.
Just 2.5 miles to Katskhi. It will be downhill and then it will go uphill. I don't think it will be too hard. Oh,
It'll be similar to
that's
what we've
cool.
already faced, isn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah, this road is just up and down, up and
Up and down, like a English coastline. Cornwall was differently up and down. It was like ridiculous ups and downs.
It was.
Here at least it's okay.
Here we can ride everything. In Cornwall we couldn't. And I think we've got a little bit fitter,
Yeah,
but the gradients are just less severe here.
yeah.
They're longer climbs for sure, and longer descents, but yeah, not
But
not
doable ones.
doable, yeah. Yeah, almost missed. Yeah, these potholes are nasty actually.
I see the church.
Oh yeah, there he is.
God knows, that's beautiful.
What Aishola had just spotted, and what we'd made this little detour to see, was the spectacular Katskhi Pillar. Estimated to have been built somewhere between the 6th and 8th centuries, this tiny orthodox church that sits on top of a natural limestone monolith is said to be one of the most isolated churches in the world. But before we could check it out properly, we first had to ride the remaining distance to the tower. Left the main road now, we're now on this track, and that takes us to this church, which, with some incredibly steep roads in the way, was going to be far from easy. So in order to get to the base of the column, we've got to go up there, which looks absolutely lethal. But we'll take it slow, we'll take it easy, and we will get there.
This is insane, look at you, Ed.
I know, it hurts.
Okay, let's go.
Brakes are barely holding it.
This is the steepest.
That's a hill. That's the steepest hill we've ever faced. That's like 45 degrees. Like, no joke. That is something else. Thankfully, the struggle up that final hill seemed well worth it, as Katskhi was a pretty impressive sight to enter. The whole area, including a monastery and small chapel positioned at the base of the tower, was considered to be an incredibly sacred place in Georgia. And standing there, staring up at the pillar seemingly just jutting into the heavens, we could understand why.
It's 40 meters. Scariest place.
We learned that it wasn't until relatively recently that religious activity had restarted here. The top of the tower had been left abandoned and untouched for over half a millennia, until a group of climbers in 1944 rediscovered the old ruins of the original 6th century church. After summiting, they also came across a wine cellar and a small burial tomb, in which they found the 600-year-old remains of a monk, believed to have once lived on the tower's peak. This practice of living atop remote and hard-to-access columns is performed by people called stylites. The stylites' belief is that by physically travelling upwards into the sky, they are spiritually moved closer to God. Up until 2015, a modern stylite by the name of Father Maxim lived here on top of the Katskhi Pillar. He did so for over 2 decades, only coming down twice a week to pray with his followers in the monastery below and to collect supplies. The ladder used to scale the 130-foot pillar was apparently bolted in place during those first climbing expeditions in the 1940s, and would take Maxim around 20 minutes to climb.
I wouldn't want to climb it. No, I wouldn't.
At the start of his time here, Maxim headed the project to restore the church in its original style, and to construct a small building next to it where he'd actually lived. As we wandered around the site, we could see evidence from this construction in the form of a winch used to carry building materials to the peak. There's currently nobody living on top of Katskhi Pillar, but we were told that local monks, who are now the only people permitted to do so, still frequently make the journey up the ladder to pray near a god. Yeah, I'm very impressed with the Katskhi column. I'm very impressed with the first chap that decided to carry something up there and build a little place to pray.
We got some apples from a man that you helped. I think this man was just working in Katskhi, just cleans up the area, and Ed helped him to pour some water over there, and he gave us some apples.
It's a fair trade, I would say.
I think Katskhi was like my end goal.
Yeah.
For today. I was like, oh yeah, we're gonna get to Katskhi, and then we arrived on this 45% hill, and now I just don't want to go back. I'm gonna become a blank monk, and I'm gonna stay and live up on Katskhi.
The day had been a rewarding but tiring one, and as we pushed away from Katskhi, our thoughts once again shifted to where we were going to sleep that night.
We wanted to stay at a guest house in Katskhi village, but unfortunately there were no guest houses, so we decided to keep moving. Oh my!
Back on the road, we met these chaps, and this clip pretty much sums up our experience with stray dogs in Georgia. So long as you're stationary, they're as sweet as anything, happy to receive strokes and affection. But as soon as you begin pedaling,
Go on, go on.
yeah.
Wow, that's a cool road.
On the map, we'd spotted another guest house about an hour away, and as we were both beginning to feel pretty grubby from the last few nights of camping, we thought that maybe it would be a good idea to stop there that night. We're pushing on. There's a place about 5 miles down this hill, so we'll see, but as it is, we're just kind of enjoying riding along at dusk. The only traffic is these cows. Soon, the road just deteriorated, and we seemed to stumble into a section under construction. And it was here that we met BB.
They're redoing this road, and it's a big construction scale. If you came here like late November, this place would be perfect.
He told us that he'd recently set up a guest house with his mate, just 3 miles away.
You guys will literally be the first guests of us there. We're just getting started, so. But you know, there's, it's warm, it's a beautiful inn, we have wine.
Well, in that case, BB's place it was.
This way. Hey, I got a question. Is it still recording while the screen is off but it's flashing red?
You touch the screen, it will come back on.
Oh, cool. So I have this amazing opportunity to grab the camera of this young man and his companion, or should I say the young lady and her companion, and we're gonna go to Winery Mahare. We are a new business. We just built our place, and these people are gonna be our first guests. So we want to make sure that they're taken care of, they get a good experience, and hopefully we can make some friends. I'll just escort you guys. Dogs are super friendly. They're super chill dogs, but
Yeah.
I don't know, they might think this is a dog.
That's so fluffy.
The puppy likes to nip on you a little bit. All right.
You smell.
Here, bring your bike over here.
Yeah, let's do that.
I'll show you guys everything. This wasn't like this 3 days ago. Sorry.
We're used to camping in tents, so don't worry.
Sorry for the mess.
No worries.
So
No, it's cool, isn't it?
there's some beds here.
Nice.
There's also
Yeah.
some beds over there. I can get you guys some blankets and everything.
It's really cozy.
BB himself lived in a town a few miles away from here, and as it was getting pretty late, he left us to it that night, in charge of the place and in charge of the dogs. Or perhaps they were in charge of us. So BB said he'd come back tomorrow and show us around a bit more. He's just huge, isn't he? He's just a monster. Hey, come on. Come on. You'll protect us, won't you? Yes. Anytime we'd arrive somewhere in the dark, it was always a fun experience to wake up and discover exactly where the road had taken us the night before. It was a beautiful area, and Aishola and I looked forward to a chilled day off the bike, learning more about this place.
When the construction will be done, you can kind of see what a lovely place it's going to be.
As well as the guesthouse business they were setting up, BB and his mate Maho were also growing grapes on the vineyard here in order to produce their own wine. And the next morning, BB was keen to show us the process in which they went about making it.
Basically, there's a lot of elements goes into making good wine, and one of the biggest thing is the temperature, the stable temperature. The white wine likes to be fermented on 16, 17 Celsius. Some red wines like more higher temperatures, but no matter it's a white wine or the red wine, it does a great fermentation in Query. So this is the traditional way of making wine.
Kveri are large clay pots traditionally used in Georgia to ferment wine. We'd seen many old ones used as decoration all around the country, but this was the first time we'd actually seen some buried in the ground in use.
It's in the ground, so it's winter or it's summer, it's the constant temperature there. You never want your wine to get too cold when it's fermenting because it's losing the necessary bacteria to continue to ferment.
They were also distilling the wine here into a product just slightly more potent.
So what do you reckon that is, like 50, 60?
That's probably, I actually have it measured. I'm going to say that there is a ways.
Oh, I can smell it, yeah.
58, so 60 basically.
Wow, yeah, that's very strong.
It was fascinating seeing what they were up to here, and our day was spent tasting more wines, playing with their massive Caucasian shepherd dogs, and tucked away in a lovely little building at the top of the hill, tending to a fire and finishing off some work for our previous Tandem video series. Getting the final video for YouTube ready, that goes out next week. That's the final video of the UK series, to give you an idea of timing. And this is it's the sixth video goes out today on YouTube, and then final video tomorrow. Just trying to get it done. Struggling with a bit of internet connection now, but there's worse places to work. Later in the afternoon, Maho was keen to take us around the back of the property to tell us a story of lost treasure potentially buried somewhere on this land.
Здесь жил цыганский табор. Много людей здесь грузины не приходили. И их вождь умер. Когда их вождь умер, табор похоронили или увез, никто не знает. Я думаю, что здесь похоронили и уехали. Понимаете? И этот вождь обязательно здесь похоронен. У этого вождя очень много бриллиантов и золота будет. Обязательно. Ну, там статуи, что-то будет обязательно интересное для нас. Я для себя ничего не хочу. Понимаете?
One spot Maho believed the leader may have been buried was in a cave the opposite side of the river. But to reach it, we'd have to navigate a pretty sketchy, deteriorating rope bridge. Impressive. Magrudi, a chap that worked for Maho, offered to guide us across.
Можешь?
Be careful, yeah?
Be careful, yeah.
Оба.
Yes.
Оба.
Opa.
Да.
Okay, yeah. I understand the theory. Keep your feet to the side. Eh? Gosh.
Mișoșca. Să vezi mai mult pe mine.
Ah, meat very wide.
Șoșire.
Yeah. Okay.
Watch out your head.
Yeah, that's it. Wow.
Как глубоко шло?
Не знаю, как глубоко. Наверное, километр.
Километр.
Kilometers.
Да, вау. Вы были там?
Каждый день, когда я на накипел.
Ага, ага. И как давно закрыла?
Не знаю, надо долго.
Обратно, да, почистить? Вау.
Personally, I hope the gold is never discovered, and that the story of dead gypsies and treasure lives on, continuing to shroud this area in mystery.
And he's saying, don't rob us. I said, well, even if we rob us, we're on a bike. You will be easy to catch us.
What else you want to know?
What's a phrase that we could say to people? They'll be like, "Whoa, you know."
Yeah, I'm gonna say something nice.
Something like don't give us some.
Nothing that gets you thrown off your bike. Genatswale. You gotta know Genatswale.
Katskhi.
Yeah. Genatswale means let me be on your place. Like I would step in for you type of deal. Like if somebody helps you with something, like you tell them Genatswale. It's a really nice. You cannot go wrong. You can use it in so many sentences. Genatswale would be really nice to tell somebody.
Katskhi.
Yeah.
Is that the right pronunciation?
Yeah. See, the travel. See, in English, and I've noticed in every other language, maybe some languages don't have it. All these languages, there's intonation on a vowel or something, right? Let's say phone, like you're giving longer. You hold, you give the intonation.
Yeah, you're right.
In Georgia, there's no intonation on anything. It's just a word said straight. So you're not giving any intonation. You're not supposed to.
No, that's a good one. That's a good one. So you're saying that's like bless you.
Yes.
Yeah, something like this.
Genatswale,
Oh.
bless you.
Well, you talk to someone. You can say it anytime. You can go.
Could you say it in response if someone said "Gamma Jobba"? You could just say "Katskhi." Does
I
it work?
think
You could.
Is it weird?
You can just say Gaumajus. Or you can just say Gamajoba.
Gamma
Or in the shop, for example, you bought stuff and then you saying, Genatswale Mahondis.
Yeah, you could say that. You could say that. You could say that. That'll be funny and good. Yeah, definitely go with it. Yeah. I'm writing the song right now. I don't know what the lyrics will be, but it's gonna be good. Traveling world in unicycle, just before I can, going down in Kyrgyzstan, just a single man. From a small village in England, I'm traveling around. Met a girl in Kyrgyzstan, I'm gonna take her around the town. Wheels keep turning, wheels keep turning. And I'm learning. One day I'll be back home. This world ain't so big, you just gotta pedal fast. If you ain't first, sure you cannot be very last. Don't gotta be greedy, you don't gotta be needy, you just gotta keep on going. Gotta get your love showing. unicycle. One man British disciple and one girl from Kyrgyzstan. We're eating mushrooms, drinking wine, we're cracking jokes, having good time so we can. So we can.
Good enough, I think. We'd had a wonderful stay at Winery Mahare, all thanks to Bibi, Magrudi, and Maho for being so unbelievably welcoming. But the next morning, it was time to say farewell and continue our ride across Georgia.
When you cross the bridge, go left, follow the river.
So,
Cross the bridge, go left, follow the river.
Yeah,
Easy peasy.
you got it.
So? Okay, Maho. Очень приятно, Maho.
очень приятно.
Спасибо вам большое.
Всего вам
Будем
доброго.
на связи.
Have a good one, bub.
Hey, it was great.
Связи.
Генацвали.
Финансали.
If you'd like to watch the next episode right now, you can for as little as $2 on Patreon. And if you're feeling really impatient, you can head over to Vimeo and binge this entire series from start to finish over there. Your support is greatly appreciated.